Dear viewers, jewelry or ornament is the weak point of women, especially Indian women. They hold cultural and symbolic meaning in India. Indian women like to wear earrings, necklaces, rings, armlets, nose rings, bangles, and many more ornaments. Among all these ornaments, bangles are the most favorite one. They are vital component of solo shringar. Little girls, young girls, adult women, old ladies all like bangles because bangles are not just ornament but they tell different stories. Today we are going to walk through a vibrant musical Indian market with our imagination. We will listen to the call of the bangle sellers who don't just sell ornaments but they sell dreams, they sell emotions. So, let's step into Indian Bazaar through the beautiful musical words of Sarojini Naidu. Sarojini Naidu. Sarojini Naidu, who is known as the Nightingale of India, played an active role in the Indian independence struggle. She was born on 30th February 1879 at Hyderabad. She died on 2nd March 1949 at the age of 70 at Lucknow. Her husband, Muthiala Govindrajulu Naidu, was a businessman. Sarojini Naidu took her education at King's College London and later on at Nizam College. Sarojini Naidu played a leading role during the civil disobedience movement. She was jailed along with Mahatma Gandhi and other leaders. She began writing at the age of 13 and she has written so many poems. If we focus on her literary journey, she has written so many poems and her first collection of poems named as The Golden Threshold. Later on, she wrote The Bard of Times. It was published in 1912. The Golden Threshold was the first collection and it was named after her family home in Hyderabad. In The Bard of Time, she has expressed her deep love for her country. Later on, her another volume published with the name The Broken Wing. This collection is known for one of the most famous poem, that is in Bazaars of Hyderabad. She wrote The Songs of India. This anthology was published after her death and it includes verses that artfully weave the essence of Indian tradition with Indian language. One more collection of poems, The Feather of Dawn, was published in 1961 and it was edited by her daughter Padmaja Naidu. So, her literary journey was really a great one. Now, dear viewers, we'll focus on the poem The Bangle Sellers. Before turning to poem, let me introduce myself. I am Professor Meshramkar S.P, Assistant Professor in Department of English from J.A.T Arts, Science and Commerce College for Women, Malegaon. Now, we will turn to our poem The Bangle Sailors. The Bangle Sailors is a beautiful portrayal of the traditional Indian Bangle sailors. They travel through towns and villages selling their colorful bangles. The poem presents bangles as a symbol of femininity and different stages in women's life. They throw light on the cultural significance of bangles in Indian society. Now, in the first stanza, the poet says, Bangle sailors are we who bear our shining loads to the temple fair. Who will buy these delicate, bright, rainbow tinted circles of light? Lustrous tokens of radiant lives for happy daughters and happy wives. Now, here, Sarojini Naidu's poem explores the feelings associated with bangles and the implications for women's role in Indian society. The bangle sellers take their loads of bangles to the temple fair to sell them. Now, these bangles are termed as lustrous tokens of radiant lives. It means these bangles are symbols of love in people's life. Now, these bangle sellers are trying to convince the public. Now, this public is at the temple fair, and these bangle sellers ask who will buy these delicate, bright, rainbow tinted circles of light. Now, here these bangle sellers are calling and they are looking for the customers, means they are looking for someone who will buy their bangles. Now, here these bangles which are mentioned in this stanza are the bangles which are for maidenhood. Now, here in this stanza, the poet says, some are made for maiden's wrist, silver and blue as the mountain mist. Some are flushed like the birds that dream on the tranquil brow of woodland stream. Some are aglow with the bloom that cleaves to the limpid glory of newborn leaves. Now, the poet says that some of the bangles are made for the unmarried women and they are of silver and blue in color. Now, these bangles are the bangles of maidenhood. They represent purity, youthfulness, because they bear the color silver and blue. Now, these colors are symbolic of maiden's dream. They are symbolic of her innocence. They are symbolic of the freshness of life before marriage. Now, these bangle sellers call these shining loads indicate the joy and excitement they bring to the young girls who wear them. So, in this stanza, the poet talks about the bangles which are specially for maidens, and the colors of these bangles are silver and blue, just as the mist of the mountain. Now, in the third stanza, the poet says, some are like fields of sunlit corn, meet for a bride on her bridal morn. Some like the flame of her marriage fire, or rich with hue of her heart's desire. Tinkling, luminous, tender and clear, like her bridal laughter and bridal tear. Now, in this stanza, the bangles are made for brides. Now, the bangles which are made for bride are like the fields of corn during morning. Now these bangles glow like bride's marriage flame, and they are rich in her heart's desire. These bangles are tinkling with luminous colors like the bride's laughter and tears. Now here, Sarojini Naidu has focused the mixed feelings of a bride. The bride is happy for entering new life, but at the same time, she is sad for leaving the home of her parents. Now, here, this stage is the stage of marriage. These bangles are bright and luminous. Luminous means they are yellow, like the fields of sunlit corn. Now, these bangles signify the transition from maidenhood to womanhood. The imagery of fire is significant as it connects to the sacred fire around which Indian marriages are performed. Now, these bangles symbolize the bride's new responsibilities as well as they symbolize the love and passion. Now, in the next stanza, the poet says, some are purple and gold flecked grey, for she who has journeyed through life's midway, whose hands have cherished, whose love has blessed, and cradled fair sons on her faithful breast, and serves her household in fruitful pride, and worships the gods at her husband's side. Here the poet says, some bangles are purple and gold colored, or they are grey. Now these bangles are made for the elderly women who have journeyed through half of their life. The purple and grey flecked bangles is meant to symbolize a woman who serves her household in fruitful pride. She worships the gods at her husband's side. Now, this is the final set of bangles, and these bangles represent the maturity and fulfillment of womanhood. These bangles means which are purple and gold flecked grey suggest the sense of dignity, wisdom, as well as they symbolize the nurturing role of a mother. The mature woman who has successfully balanced her household duties and family life wears these bangles as a mark of her experience and self fulfillment. So, here this poem emphasizes the cultural importance of bangles in Indian society. These bangles are not merely decorative or ornamental, but they are tied to customs, they are tied to rituals, they are tied to the identity of women in different phases of life. Sarojini Naidu's use of vibrant colors and symbolic imagery reflect the deep-rooted connection between women and the adornments they wear. Here, bangles serve as a metaphor for life. The tone of the poem is celebratory and lyrical. It reflects the beauty, dignity of womanhood in Indian culture. The voices of the bangle sellers are enthusiastic as they call out their wares, and their descriptions bring to the life the diverse shades and meanings of bangles. Now, these bangles are truly symbol of love and passion. The bangles are made for happy daughters and happy wives. Here it means that the bangles are for all. Now the poet has used colorful imagery very well, and she has presented typical Indian scene. So this poem is really an interesting poem, and the poet has successfully presented Indian culture through this poem. So here we have finished the poem The Bangle Sailors, written by Sarojini Naidu. So viewers, thank you for watching.